Oh no. Listen, I really don't have time. Why can't you just let me go in? Okay. I'll tell you about the times I got involved with the gang. I basically stumbled into them. I wasn't even on my way to the bank. I was simply crossing the street. This car drove up to me and hit me. Not hard, but I stumbled. 3 masked men jumped out and stared at me. They waved their guns. Then they rushed into the bank. I was hurt. When they came rushing out, I got out of the way. I was leaning against the wall, shaken. They sat in their car and stared at me. I stared back and began to sweat. They began to stare. The car had run out of gas. Well, what is it that makes you guys always corner me when you see me? Is it my face? Is it my clothes? Is it the way I walk? The way my hair falls? I don't understand it. Can you give me a hint? I'm ready to change anything. But you don't want anything to be changed, right? Hey, I can do a pirouette on a nickel. I can swallow a cannonball and cough it up again. I can shoot a bullet straight up into the air and catch it with my teeth. I've done it before. I could do it again. But if I showed you, you would not let me go, right? One day we were playing Monopoly with our loot. We would buy houses and streets with cash. The prices meant nothing to us. We would be celebrating and forget what we were celebrating. Then one of us felt cheated. The price was not right. Money went back and forth. Money went missing. We tried to calm the guy. We offered him money, but he insisted that he had it his way. He was about to win the game. He was about to become the king of the heap. When I was having a piss on the toilet, the shooting began. Listen, if I would dress differently, would you please overlook me in the future? I could wear a tie. I could let my hair grow. I could wear a beard. I'll carry fake jewelry and look like a pimp. I could dress like a woman. What is it that makes you stop me? Do you ever stop anybody else? I doubt it. It's always me. As soon as you spot me, right? Hey, I can imitate the voice of Larry King. It will make your hair stand up. You will even begin to see his suspenders. I could imitate the voice of Baby Bush. I will be rather short-fused and a bit pathological. I could do them at the same time and we could have a talk show. Larry King and the former what's his name. As they are not them but me, it will become a complete weird interview. It will get out of hand. Eventually they will blame me, of course. One day we were breaking into a bank via a tunnel. We ended up trying to figure a way out of the labyrinth of the basement. One of us lost his nerves and shot another guy. We were very quiet for a while. It was spooky. We forgot about breaking into the bank and eventually came across a watchman. He told us where we could get out. Of course we had to rob him. No way could we have left the place without money. We would have been the laugh of the neighborhood. Hey, this is me. Of course you remember me. That's the only reason why you always stop me. Every time. I'm getting sick and tired of this. Every time you see me, you corner me and you expect me to tell you something. What is it you want? What is it you want to hear? One day I got involved with the sisters of one of the boys. At first she was very nice to me. Then she wanted this and she wanted that. If I didn't do that or didn't bring her that, she would tell her brother. He would hit me in the eye. They would take care of me. She demanded more and more. I went out on my jobs, but I began to hate it. I hated banks and I hated brothers. I began to hate women and existence in general. Sometimes I saw cops and I had an urge to walk up to them and say that I couldn't go on. Some sort of death wish. Meet my final destiny. Every time my eyes filled with tears and I began to whimper. What is it you want to hear? I tell you everything you want to hear. You just have to tell me. You just tell me what you want to hear and I will tell you straight away. Don't hesitate. Don't waver. Don't reconsider. Tell me and let's get this over with. Have I told you that I can slowly strangulate myself from behind? I always turn blue, sometimes purple. Some say that there's something greenish in it. After a while my eyeballs bulge out and my tongue swells. But I keep on strangling. I've tried it in front of mirrors, but I found them not very useful. The vision blurs. I always faint before I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. As a bank robber, you want to plan everything neatly. Everything has to be in place. You don't like chance. In fact, you begin to hate chance. You want a bank robbery to be thoroughly planned, and then you want it to function like a well-oiled machine. And, of course, you will always be confronted with a woman who simply refuses to lie down on the floor. There will be an old man who did not hear you and simply walks out, never realizing what has happened. There will be the boy with his chewing gum. There will be babies crying. There will be screeching women. There will be howling dogs. There will be sirens going off, and there will be car crashes outside. Your nerves are laid bare. They could trigger off anything at any time. Somebody drops something. A door creaks. A man sighs. A clock ticks. Your left eyelid twitches. You remember a happy moment in your childhood, and then your mind snaps. Hey, maybe you were mistaking me for somebody else. That's it. Why did I never think about that? It must be you are confusing me with somebody else. That's why you corner me. For some reason you really want to corner somebody else. You talk to your psychiatrist about that. It's serious. You don't really want to corner me, but somebody else. Maybe it's that guy over there you want to corner. Have a close look at him. It could be him, right? The more you think about it, the more probable it becomes, right? I'm pretty sure you meant to corner him. Hey, I can recite all the telephone directories of California in one go. It takes quite a while. I never make a mistake. It's something you cannot learn. You've got to have a super brain like mine to do it. Want to hear it? You might want to get the directories first so you can double check on it. I must warn you though, my recital will be pretty boring. One day one of the boys came to our meeting dressed up like Jimmy Cagney. He announced that we'll do the next break in Jimmy Cagney style. I asked him what he meant by that. He said that it will be just like in one of the Jimmy Cagney movies. No need to plan anything. We'll just watch the movie. So we sat down and watched the movie. We had a discussion where to get all those old guns, those old suits, and all those old cars from. If we would not be able to buy them, we would have to steal them. We ended up planning how to steal the props from a Hollywood studio. Then someone asked how we should get to Hollywood. To make things short, there was a lot of planning and thinking involved. Nobody was shot.